Temt-Ta, Hasa, Fi Paren, Shilpa Temt-Ta, Anuki Sayud Shilpa Ta, Maku, Nanya Shaabu El, Shil At-sik-hata Shil Yamasee-Moors, Wahaza Kalun, Chassid Yawum, Wahid Meya, Tassadin Chassid. Greetings, I'm Plenipotentiary of the Earth, Chief Nanya Shaabu El of the At-sik-hata Nation of Yamasee-Moors, and this is 5-day comment number 195. This 5-day comment is brought courtesy of a TikTok video that I saw a few days ago, and the truth is coming out that all the other races on the planet must admit, confess, and conduct themselves appropriately, that what they are saying, the word black, are actually the origins of life on this planet. So let's play this video clip.
None of us would be here without black women. 0 people would be here. There would be 0 of us. We wouldn't even be able to imagine or begin to fathom what it means to be free without the work of black women. And yet, I've never witnessed hatred like the hatred that's hurled toward black women. It's a whole different level. You know, black women owe everyone else nothing. Absolutely nothing. And yet, how dare humanity demand everything of black women? Y'all, what in the entire hell?
So, that in its infancy stages of acknowledging who was first is good. So now I'm going to give knowledge to this woman and all the other Asians out there that the correct syntax to use is actually white. White is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. Europe is named after an Ethiopian princess. The Middle East is Northeast Africa. And Africa, of course, you know, North Africa. Now, this is endorsed by the US Department of Education. Further, I want to pull up the CDC definition. And the CDC definitions for race, and they're coded. 1 is white, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, North Africa, or the Middle East. And 2 is black, a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. 3 is Asian Pacific Islander, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of the Far East, Southeast Asia, the Indian subcontinent, or the Pacific Islands. This area includes, for example, China, India, Japan, Korea, the Philippine Islands, and Samoa. American Indian or Alaska Native, or Eskimo Aleut, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North America and who maintains cultural identification to tribal affiliation or community recognition. Now, one of the things that I find interesting is this. Now that we know this, we have to go to Old English. And once we get to Old English, we're going to see we go to, this is Mary Lynch Johnson, and this is the website here on Old English, the portal to the language of the Anglo-Saxons. So when we click on the word B, and we select the letter, we're going to go down to the word black. BL accent over the AC. And it is an adjective, not a noun. Nouns are persons, places, and things. So black is not a noun. Black is bright, shining, glittering, flashing, pale, pallid, wan. So I agree insofar as the TikToker here is saying that, yes, the Carbon, Nubun people who are called quote unquote African are the first, but you don't call them black women. It should really be white female. So I do appreciate that. So this is to help all the Asians, Southeast Asians, So when they see somebody who's black, they should really be acknowledging and telling them the truth that they're actually white. And if they don't do that, then they are aiding and abetting pale supremacy. Now we go to the next video here, and this is by a scientist. So this is going to be fantastic.
We did not see.
What did you find?
We did not see any, even one single individual that could be considered as the descendant of the Homo erectus in China. Rather, everybody was a descendant of our ancestors from Africa.
The result couldn't have been any clearer. How did it make you feel as a Chinese person?
After I saw the evidences that we generate in my laboratory, I think we should all be happy with that, because after all, modern humans from different part of the world are.
What did you find?
We did not see any, even one single individual that could be considered as the descendant of the Homo erectus in China. Rather, everybody was a descendant of our ancestors from Africa.
So there you go. The proof is out. The evidence is out. So African origin of modern humans in East Asia, a tale of 12,000 Y chromosomes. So what they found here was these three mutations, YAP plus M89T and M130T, coalesced to another mutation, M168T, which originated in Africa about 35,000 to 89,000 years ago. Therefore, the data do not support even a minimal in situ hominid contribution in the origin of anatomically modern humans in East Asia. So East Asians are a mutation that came out of Africa, as they call it. Can we go down here? Okay, so is this the one I wanted to show? Okay, so this one's good here. So now we go to some pictures. Below is what the first Americans look like. So now we have a good array here. Young man of the Jabugate tribe, of the Jabugate people, Cairns in North Queensland, Australia, playing the didgeridoo. Then you have the young men of the Chambri tribe, New Guinea, with piercing to honor crocodile ancestors. And then you have the young woman of the Jawara tribe in the Andaman Islands, just off the south coast there of India. So these two here with the curly hair, they're the ancestors. So it's clear to see who came first. So these are what the original Asians looked like before they went over to mainland China, Japan, Korea, Thailand, Philippines, etc. Then as far as the Americas are concerned, the Olmec were first in the Americas, were the first civilization in the Americas. When they arrived is not known, but a guess of 8,000 to 4,000 before Christian era should do. And so here's the statues. So the pictures here show, look at the thick lips, broad nose, the helmet. So that shows you who was here in the Americas first. This is an Olmec colossal head in situ. And then this is a colossal head in situ at the Tres Zapotes in Mexico. Then you have Akhenaten, and you have, this is another bust of Akhenaten wearing the pale crown. We don't call it the white, if you want to talk about skin color. Just for you to know, in the IPED's definitions, which they follow under the OMB, the categories do not denote scientific definitions of anthropological origins. They're not talking about skin color, they're talking about the caste system. And this is a global definition of race. There's another mask, this one found up in, as they call it, Canada, we call it Northern Turtle Island. And look at the thick lips, broad nose, round head. So that proves that the people calling themselves First Nations American Indians were not here first. So now we move over to the San people. And genetically the oldest people in the world. Reality History, www.com. Excellent website, excellent website. Only one problem, they gotta stop using the word black. They got to change that. So whoever the website designer or the programmer is, they need to check that out, take that out and flip that and make it white. That's what they have to do. The San people genetically are the oldest people in the world. So this is the San people of the Kalahari Desert in Southern Africa and the San people of the Kalahari Desert in Southern Africa. So you got two different pictures here. And notice they have mongoloid looking features. So when you see this woman here,
None of us would be.
look at her cheekbones, and then well, let's take this over here. And then you see the comparison here. Or even Professor Jin Lee, who is
The result couldn't have been any clearer. Make you feel as a Chinese person.
After I saw the evidences that we generate in my laboratory, I think we should all be happy with that.
So as you can see here, look at his eyes, and then you can compare his eyes. So it's not Asian eyes, it's San eyes, the San people in South Africa. So that's what the Asians have. That's not an Asian characteristic. It's a characteristic of Mongoloidism. You can see the man here, same kind of eyes, lady here. And so it's not Asian eyes. They got them. They're really African eyes. And here's another picture. So if you didn't know any better, you would think that she was Chinese. And this is a San grandmother and her granddaughter in the Kalahari, South Africa. Here's another man. Look at his, not Asian, the eyes don't belong to the Asians. They got that from the San people in South Africa. Look at the men. So many Africans have Mongol features. And this is the Himba woman in Puros, Namibia. Look at her eyes. So this is an African feature, not a Asian feature. The Asians got it from us like everything else. And of course, with all humans, and they got to strike that word out and put white or put a Tocthan, put indigenous, but definitely not black because it has no standing at law. Regardless of phenotype, they make albinos. So these are Asian albinos, as you can see here. So as you can see, the origins come from here. So this is just to help all the Asian people out there and let them know that you must honor your ancestors. So if you honor Buddha, you must honor us. And for those that didn't know this, who call themselves Black or African American, you need to come on my webinar and I show you how to get white, claim your indigenous heritage, and prove that you commercially are no longer lost at sea. And how you do that is send an email, atsikhatym@gmail.com, or to aspwebinar@protonmail.com, or you can give me a call, 587-712-0639. Always have my phone with me, or you can also call 587-501-7262. We have the webinar every Monday on the Gregorian calendar at 7 o'clock Eastern. And this is what we do to help Black, African American, people of color, visible minorities, Afro-Latinos, Africans to change their race and ethnicity. Our nation is internationally recognized by the United Nations as a CSO, IPO, and NGO. So that's why I love being white. And white is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. Friday comment 195, I'm Plenipotentiary of the United Kingdom, the Earth, and Chief of the At-sik-hata Nation of Yamasee-Moors, Abdur, white power.